This is why universal life insurance is my favorite. In this educational episode, I'm going to address why IUL knocks the socks off of other investment alternatives that you might consider to accumulate money for long-term goals, such as retirement or college funding for your kids and grandkids, working capital for business, real estate management, emergency funds. You'll see why it's the dream solution. So I'm Doug Andrew. I've been a financial strategist and retirement planning specialist now for nearly 5 decades, helping thousands of people optimize assets, minimize taxes, and empower what I call their authentic wealth. My favorite financial instrument, bar none, is a max-funded indexed universal life insurance contract, primarily because on this channel I have many educational videos that talk about how, when it's structured correctly and funded properly, it really does knock the socks off of a lot of other alternative investments, such as for retirement planning, IRAs, 401ks, 403bs, 457s, pension profit sharing plans. I can outperform 95% of those by using a max-funded IUL because I have actually averaged since 1997 11.17% rates of return, netting cash on cash over 10%, 10.07 to be exact. I'm earning 11 and netting 10. Now, people say, well, I've never seen an insurance policy do that. Well, then that tells me immediately you have not seen one structured correctly. Now, universal life was first introduced back in 1980. It was the brainchild of E.F. Hutton. They were not primarily an insurance company. They were a brokerage firm, and they realized that even if you could earn, 12% with your money in the market, in a tax-deferred IRA or 401k, at the end of the day, you're not netting 12. In a 33% tax bracket, you earn 12, you're only netting 8. If you subtract 1% in fees from asset management fees of usually 1%, you have to earn 12 to net 7 after taxes and fees. E.F. Hutton said, why don't we just put money into insurance companies? They're the best money managers in the world. They manage trillions, okay? It is the backbone of America and the backbone of the world, the multi-trillion-dollar legal reserve insurance industry. This is where banks and credit unions put 30 to 40% of their Tier 1 assets for liquidity and safety. And all E.F. Hutton said was, well, why don't we put the money over there and let's use the living benefits of life insurance, the tax-free accumulation and tax-free access, more than the death benefits. So basically, instead of trying to get X amount of life insurance coverage for the least amount of premium, they flipped that scenario where you're taking the least amount of insurance that the IRS will let you get away with, and you're putting in the most premium or money that the IRS allows. And this turns into a tax-free cash cow. When it's done correctly and funded properly, back in 1980, I had clients put in $500,000, and they were able to earn an average of 11 to 15%, but let's just say 11 for a whole decade from 1980 to 1990. But they were earning 11 and netting 10 because only 1 percentage point paid for the cost of the insurance that the IRS said had to be there in order for it to be tax-free, because the amount of insurance required was only about twice as much as the amount of money they were putting in. If they were putting in $500,000, they only needed $1 million of insurance. Now, you could buy way more life insurance than $1 million with $500,000. That was not the objective. The objective was to have the best internal rate of return on $500,000 so that you could earn 11 and net 10, okay? And so if you were taking out tax-free income, I had clients put in $500,000, and they were pulling out $50,000 a year of tax-free income without depleting that $500,000 for years. If they didn't need the income immediately, then earning 10%, your money doubles every 7.2 years. In fact, ever since 1980 until today, I have averaged 9.62%. Rounding that down to 9.6, your money doubles every 7.5 years. And this is why people who put in a lump sum of $500,000 and they didn't take out any of the income tax-free, it grew tax-free and it doubled every 7.5 years, meaning 500,000 doubled to $1 million, and $1 million doubled to $2 million, and $2 million doubled to $4 million, and $4 million doubled to $8 million in 30 years. Now, some of these people now have $8 million tax-free, and it can generate $600,000 to $800,000 a year of tax-free income. Now, show me anything else in the Internal Revenue Code that does that. And so that's why I say this knocks the socks off of alternatives, because you would have to be earning 12% to net 7 or 8 in the market. And you would have to, again, go buy your life insurance or whatever. I can earn 11 and net 10 by using a max funded IUL, and the insurance comes along for the ride. It's not free, but it doesn't cost me anything. It's 1% that would be otherwise going out the window in unnecessary tax if I followed the herd and put my money into traditional IRAs or 401ks trying to earn 12% to net 7 or 8. Is this making sense? And so this is why I absolutely love max-funded indexed universal life, because indexing came out in 1997 in response to the low interest environment in the 90s. Because I never got credited less than 11.75% on my universal life from 1980 to 1990, but then interest rates started to come down and they introduced variable universal life. Well, that means your money is out at risk in the market, and if you had your money in the S&P 500, indexed mutual fund, you would have lost 40% twice in the decade from 2000 to 2010. Using indexing, your money is not invested in the S&P 500. You're linking your returns to the S&P index in this example, if that's what the insurance company offered, which most do who offer IUL. And so if you had $1 million, that's earning the general account portfolio rate in that decade of 2000 to 2010. Most insurance companies' general account portfolio rates were around 6%. They need one of those percentage points for their profit. They're in business to make money. But they were paying out a net of 5% or $50,000 on $1 million of cash value. Well, you can settle for just 5% if you want. But if you feel bullish about America, you relinquish the for sure 5%. Your million stays safe in the insurance company. But the insurance company then can use the 5% interest on your million, $50,000, to buy upside options in an index that you choose, or indices if you want to diversify. That gives them the wherewithal to pay you 8%, 12%, 16%, which I got credited 16% twice in the decade from 2000 to 2010. But during the 5 years that the market went down, I didn't lose. In fact, I didn't earn just zero all 5 of those years. I simply moved back over and earned the 5%. I only earned zero 2 years. The other 3 years of those downturns of the market, I earned the 5% general account portfolio rate. But the other 5 years, I earned whatever the index did, and it only capped out twice. But I averaged over 11%, netting 10% during the worst decade since the Great Depression. So this is why it is absolutely one of my favorite financial vehicles. If you compare that to most IRAs, 401ks invested in the market, those are going to be taxed sooner or later, whether you go with a traditional IRA or 401k or a Roth. This knocks the socks off of a traditional IRA or 401k or a Roth. A Roth only has 2 benefits. A max-funded IUL has those 2 benefits and 4 additional benefits that Roths will never have. And if you don't understand, well, what are those? Check out this channel and I answer those questions, why this is better than a Roth. So suffice it to say, this has been by far the dream solution for many long-term goals such as retirement, college funding, working capital for business, real estate management, emergency funds, maximizing a pension if you're a retired school teacher, police officer, firefighter, estate planning, lump sums. My heavens, you show me anything else that accumulates money tax-free, allows you to access that money tax-free, and you don't have to wait till you're 59 and a half to do it, okay? And then when you ultimately die, anything you leave behind blossoms. What does that mean? It increases in value. If I died in an accident tomorrow, every million in my IUL policies would double to about 2 million instantly and transfer tax-free to my heirs. Nothing else does that. And people always say, well, how much does that cost? Well, nothing's free, but it doesn't cost me anything. It's being paid for with that 1%, that minuscule portion of money that would otherwise go out the window in unnecessary tax. So why not? Okay. And so if this is intriguing you enough that you want to study more about it, because you're going to be left out if you don't empower yourself. You empower yourself with education. So this is why I've been very passionate about educating people on this YouTube channel. But if you like to read and learn, in addition to watching and learning, I would love to gift you a copy of my most recent best-selling book called The Laser Fund. This will teach you how to diversify and create the foundation for a tax-free retirement. And it's actually 2 books in one. This side is about 200 pages, 14 chapters, with all kinds of charts and graphs and explanations if you're a left-brain learner. If you're a right-brain learner, you learn more by stories and examples. You flip over and read this one, which is about 100 pages, 12 chapters with 62 actual client stories. If you want to use both your right brain and left brain, then read both these books, okay? But you can buy this on Amazon for $20, but I'll gift you a copy free. Claim your free copy by going to laserfund.com or simply click on the link below. You contribute a nominal amount towards the shipping and handling. I'll cover the rest of that cost, and I'll pay for the book. I'll fire out a hard copy to you. There's options in there if you like to listen and learn or watch and learn for the audio and video version of the book. There's even an 18-hour masterclass on video. You can also check out some of our educational webinars that we do on a regular basis. They're free. You can even schedule an appointment with an IUL specialist that I oversee and mentor to see how a properly structured laser fund can be designed for you correctly. So this is not about me. This is about you and your brighter future. Reach out, educate yourself, and you will soon realize why this is one of my favorite financial vehicles, bar none.